Are you afraid of the dark? We are not on this channel because we have the new Arken Zulus IR night vision scope. All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. So today, thanks to high pressure pneumatics, we've got a Arken Zulus scope here. I think that's how you pronounce it. And this thing is pretty sweet. Before I get any deeper here, though, let me show you what this thing comes with the typical unboxing that we always do.
Before we get too deep into the review, let's take a look at what's in the box as always. So in this case, it's actually going to be two boxes. You do get the charger. Okay, so it's a charger with a USB cord, and it'll charge up to, I think it's the 18650 batteries in there. So pretty long life batteries. So you get those, and then what's in here is a memory card, but I've already put it in the unit. So you're going to get those, and then in the actual box here, you're going to get your manual. Of course, you're going to need that. Always read your manual. You've got a lens cloth in there. You've got a USB charging cable there, some screws and Allen keys, and you've got your mount here. In our case, I believe, yep, this is the 0 MOA mount, so it is just a straight mount, and it'll kick the optic a little bit back into your face because it's the way that you look through that rangefinder. It's not like a normal scope, so you're gonna have that a little closer to your face. And then you've got your eye cup there, and then of course the unit itself. Now the unit is very nice, so it's got a lens cap on there for you, and then you've got IR right there, and then an integrated rangefinder on there. So battery cap is right here, and it's a really nicely machined looking unit, and you've got your magnification right here in that little wheel. It took me a little while to find out where that was, and your focus is adjustable and everything on this thing too. And you've got a little pick rail hanging off the side, and then also you've got your cover there that houses the SD card and your charge port. This thing does have internal charging, so you don't always have to use the charger that I showed you over there. So that's basically what you get in the box.
All right, now that you know what it comes with, let's take a little closer look here. So this thing is pretty sweet, and it's got a really nice menu with a bunch of stuff. Tons of features in there. So this is actually a rangefinder, so it's integrated with the unit, and we've also got an IR for this unit too. So this is IR night vision, and it sort of works on the same principle as like your security cameras at home. It's not true night vision like a PVS 14 or military night vision that uses, you know, a like a phosphor cathode tube, but it is pretty sweet. So it has very high definition lenses in this, and it uses some Sony technology in there to really get a good image at night. And you're going to see that here very shortly. But the best thing about this scope is at least this configuration. Now it is available without the rangefinder, but if you're going to get this, get it with the rangefinder, man, because you can simply range a target, and it's got two modes in there, either dial or holdover. And if you have it on holdover mode, it's going to show you the exact place to hold over on your reticle. And if you have it in dial mode, it's just going to move the whole reticle right to where your point of aim is going to be given the trajectory when you range it with that rangefinder. Now, there's two apps for this scope, which I thought was a little bit odd, but before we go into this, I'll explain that to you. App 1 is for connecting via Wi-Fi, and you can use that to remotely view the scope, and you can use it to zero the scope. Past that, it's not really that useful. You can do all that stuff just looking through the scope. The other app is the Arken Ballistics app. That's what you're going to need for this. It's kind of like a stray lock or chair gun, but specifically for this scope, and it'll allow you to put your bullet weight, your velocity, ballistic coefficient, zero distance, and all of that in there. And then you can wirelessly send that data to the scope, and the scope retains it. And then that's where, when you start ranging targets, it's referencing the internal ballistics table that you sent over via Bluetooth. So Arken Ballistics is the app that you're going to want. The other one is not really necessary. But other than that, the scope can record. It's got like 6 or 7 levels of IR brightness. And it also has a pretty cool mode where it's really high definition in black and white or night vision mode. So I did a little bit of shooting during dusk before it got too dark today. And if I have any decent clips from that, I'll roll them right now so you can get a little bit of an idea of how that looks in the day. And I was hitting the 4-inch steel plate at 150 yards with this thing in the daytime.
All right, so it is dusk. My target there is at 25 yards. I'm at 5 power right now. And then there's the 150 yard out there. Let me focus onto that. Wow, that's pretty good. That's the 150 yard 4-inch plate. It's very gray from being hit. Let's zoom in just to show you. Okay, 17.5 power. And that is 20 power. And it is dusk. So this lens, and I think it's the Sony Starvis processor or something in here. It's really good for it not being that light out. Let me focus back onto 25. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and zero this thing in.
A few moments later.
We're going to take a look at the various zoom levels just to give you an idea of the clarity. This is at 25 yards. And again, this is dusk, so it's getting dark, like kind of bordering on a little too dark to almost to be using a regular scope. Now this is not the IR mode, this is just the regular mode. That's 7.5 zoom, 10x, 12.5, 15, 17.5, and 20. So it goes in 2.5 zoom increments, and that's pretty good. Very detailed image, and you can play with the focus and get things perfect on it up front with the focus adjustment. Now, I've seen some other videos, and yes, you can actually see 22 impacts at 100 yards with this thing, but right now I'm just sighting it in for 25, and then we're going to use the rangefinder to see if we can get some hits on stuff far away. So let me just confirm my zero here. I'm going to try to hit right in the center of those two. Okay, that was spot on. So now the fun part. I've got that 150 yard gong out there. Okay, so I see the target. Now I'm going to have to focus that up. Excellent. Okay, that's pretty good. So now I have to range the target using the onboard rangefinder, and I'll probably have to aim at the ground. Okay, 149. And I've got it in holdover mode, so you can see on my reticle, hopefully you can see when I'm recording still, but there's a green, on my red reticle there's a green spot, and that's my holdover. Can I shoot a 150 yard target using the onboard ballistics at dusk? Not sure. Oh, I hit it. That's pretty impressive, man. There it is. Very nice. Okay. Very nice. That is pretty good, man. That's a 4-inch plate at 150 yards. Can I do 3 in a row? Wow. That's pretty good. You know, an 150 yard shot with a little 22 airgun is pretty dang impressive. But to be able to range and do it with this scope is killer. I hope I got those on camera. Let's take another couple at that thing just to see if I can keep doing it. Wow. So that rangefinder definitely works pretty well. Nailed it. Just hitting it constantly. Okay, good. So we know the rangefinder and ballistics work pretty well out to 150 yards for sure. And that's all the distance I have. So we'll stay with that, and I'm going to do some night testing because that is what this scope really is all about.
So the real test, and what we're going to try to do now, is check out if we can hit that at night, which if we can, I will be blown away. So let's get you some footage. The rest of this video, I think, is just going to be scope cam footage. So let's get into that.
All right, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and start playing with the scope what you're looking at is a little target that I've got out there at about 75-ish yards. And I'm going to go ahead and start playing with the IR settings here. Okay, so I just turned it on. There's a setting in here. I don't know if it's coming through on recording on the screen, but this is pretty cool. Okay, IR auto. That's been my favorite setting so far. Look at that, man. I can see like individual grass strands out there. And let me just play with the focus just a little bit, see if I can make it any better. Okay, so very cool. Now, there's that diamond target. It's about 3 inches wide. I'm going to try to range it. Okay, 75 yards. Good. Okay, so I don't know if it's coming through on the recording, but there's a green holdover on my reticle now. So with this Airmaks Krait, let's go ahead and cock it. Oh, dead center. Do you guys see that? Let me zoom into that. I am not used to the scope, and finding the buttons in the dark is a challenge. There we go. Wow. Look at that. Very cool. Okay, I just have to do that again. Let's put the holdover. And, I zeroed this only at 25 yards. Ideally, I would have done it at 50, but let's try that again. Wow. Did that hit the same exact spot? Alright, I'm ready for 150. So, can we see it? Can we see it? Okay, I think, yep, we can see it. So, I'm going to have to go down to my Airmaks monopod here, and then let me focus that. This is, if I can do this at night. Alright, and I think I might want to crank up the IR here. I'm going to try to fumble around here in the... Alright guys, so I had the recoil activated, accidentally on, the recoil activated recording, and I think it kept cutting me off. So hopefully I've still got some good footage. There's the one at 75, and let's just range that again and just make sure we're good. Alright, good. Holdovers right there. Nailed it. Alright, so now the impressive thing. Let's go to 150. And before my camera cut off, I did hit it a bunch of times. So let's zoom in a little bit. First, let me range it. Alright, 148 is about right. Now we'll zoom in. And you can just barely see it. Let me try to focus. Alright, that's going to be good enough. I kind of know where it is. And my holdover is way at the bottom there. Oh, I got it. I can just barely see the silhouette of it. There it is. There it is, man. That's pretty crazy. You can barely see the plate. Oh man, that was a really cool ricochet sound. All right, cool. So there's that post right there is about 120 from me, and I've just got it on this auto IR mode, which is pretty cool. So let me focus that, give you guys a little bit more focus there. And let's, I got some more rounds in this mag. Let's go back to my 75 yard. I'll go ahead and zoom out here so we can see what we're doing. And let's range that bad boy again. 75, good to go. We'll zoom in a little bit so you can see. Let's see full zoom if we can see the exact hit. Now you do have to focus this thing a little bit each time. And you know what's probably not helping is we're in the heated shooting shack. So I see some heat signature coming out of this shack. But how about this? Let's try to hit, let's say just the tip right there. Oh, pretty nice. Alright, how about the top tip? Wow, that went pretty well right where it is. I might be a little bit to the right, but you know what? I just have to try that 150 again. It's just so addicting. I'm going to try the manual IR settings. Kick it up to... Okay, it's got 6 levels. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the highest level. Let me try to focus a little bit better here. Okay, so we can see the target. I'm going to range it again. Probably go by the ground. Alright, 149. That's going to be close enough. Alright, let's take a couple more shots at that thing. I have some more in the mag. Oh, that is pretty damn impressive. Oh, got it again. It doesn't always make a distinct ding sound. Sometimes it's more of a thwap.
Oh, I heard it!
Oh, and I'm out of ammo. But, okay, so that's pretty impressive. Clearly the thing can shoot. Wow, and look, we can see some eyes out there in the reed. So there's some critters out there, which you're going to see that eye shine. You see it right there? You're going to see that with the with an IR scope because it's shining right off of the eye. There's another one right there. Probably all coyotes and stuff out there. Might have to take a little stock eventually here. But let's show you guys some other stuff just at some various distances. So this here is at 20 yards. Let me focus that with the front piece here. Alright, that looks pretty good. Now I'm at 5 power. There's 7.5, 12.5, I skipped one, 15, 20. And you can see the actual wood grain in that. That is pretty impressive. And I do like this IR auto mode. Let me zoom back out here a little bit. And we'll just look down the laneway. So you are going to need to focus this thing a bit. But man, that's pretty impressive, man. What a great picture. You can see everything. I wish I had more bullets in this mag, more slugs, so I could shoot that 75, but clearly this thing works as intended. You can range things and hit them at very far distances, and that's not only a testament to the quality of the scope and the programming and ballistic charts that are within the scope itself, but this Airmaks gun is pretty nice too. It is definitely capable of long-range accuracy and good velocity with heavier slugs. So, yeah, hopefully that gives you guys a good overview of what this thing can do.
All right, guys. So with my reviews, I like to do them kind of as if you just got the product and opened it. So very unscripted. But you saw hits at 150 yards. Of course, I kind of know where that target is. But man, the range finding on this thing works amazingly. So this one is not going to be getting sent back to high pressure pneumatics. We're going to hang on to this one at the shed. But man, if you want a really nice scope that takes all the guesswork out of it to be used at night for critters and whatnot, this is it, man. This is, for the price, you are getting a ton of features on this thing. So, but anyway, this is like my second day using it, and already we're smashing targets with ease with this thing. So check it out. High Pressure Pneumatics, www.myhighpressureair.com. If they don't have it in stock, you can simply email them and they can special order like anything for you. So don't always think that just because it's not on the website that you can't get it. Simply shoot them an email. You'll get whatever you need. No worries. And also, if you want to support the channel, check out my Amazon links in the comments and description of this video. If you're shopping through Amazon, even if you just click in through those links, it'll help the channel out a little bit. We are totally non-monetized here, so that is why you never sit through commercials. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.